Good morning, class.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you, class? How are you, everyone?
Fine.
Fine.
And Papa?
तपाईं पनि fine. Okay. Descriptive essay हेर्दै थियौँ मलाई हैन हामी?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Descriptive essay means describing. And the descriptive भनेकै describing हो भनेर पहिला बुझ्नु पर्यो. Yes. So how we
Yes, ma'am.
describe? जो हामीले short describing processहरु पनि केही मैले example पनि भा. So now we are going through the book. Page number कति हो रे हाम्रो? This big one book. It's page number description means 129. Okay. So how to describe? हैन हामी जो using description सक्यो होला. Understanding subjective description. Page 132 मा हेर्नुस् त. If you have this big one book. Page 132. How to understand the subjective descriptions. अर्को सेक्सनमा कहाँ पुगेछ छ रिलेसन? Do you know? मैले सरलाई कन्ट्याक्टै भएको छैन मेरो. Do you know? Have you asked them?
No, ma'am.
अगाडि हुनुहुन्छ कि पछाडिसम्म कतासम्म अब. Anyway, no matter. So I'm clicking here. Wait. Okay. आज पनि हामी डिस्क्रिप्सन तिरै जान्छौं. भोलिको क्लासमा चाहिँ हामी एसे पढ्छौं. सायद I think so. So how to write descriptive essay? Today we are understanding subjective description. Understanding subjective description. Okay, got the page? Okay. What is subjective description? कुनै एउटा सब्जेक्टलाई describe गर्ने भनेकै subjective description हो. So how to have such type of subjective descriptions? In contrast to objective description, subjective description conveys your personal response to your subject. कुनै पनि सब्जेक्टमा हाम्रो personal interest, personal analysis, it describes, it gives. We express our personal description. That is what subjective description is. Here, your perspective is not necessarily stated explicitly. Often it is revealed indirectly through your choice of words and phrasing. हामीले कस्ता वर्डहरु युज गर्छौं and what type of phrases we use. This creates a meaning here. If an English composition assignment asks you to describe a place that has a special meaning to you, you could give a subjective reaction to your topic by selecting and emphasizing details that show your feelings about the place. Means, if we are to describe a place, that your own feeling is a room लाई हामीले जसरी describe गर्यौं, that is what subjective description. For example, you could write a subjective description of your room by focusing on particular object ठ्याक्क मैले हिजो जस्तो भने त्यस्तै रहेछ. Your desk, your window, your bookshelves, and explaining the meaning these things have for you. Thus, your desk could be a warm brown rectangle, whatever. यसलाई चाहिँ तपाईँहरू आफै पढ्नुहोस् है. This could be the subjective description. तपाईँले जसरी डिस्क्राइब गरे पनि त्यसको सानो सानो कुरालाई डिटेलमा डिस्क्राइब गर्नुहुन्छ भने that is subjective description. Subjective description could convey not just a literal record site, underline it. Subjective description should convey not just a literal record of sight and sounds, but also their significance. यसको महत्व पनि बुझाउँछ. For example, if you objectively describe a fire that destroyed a house in your neighborhood, you might include its temperature, duration, and scope. In addition, you might describe as accurately as possible the fire's movement and intensity. If you subjectively describe the fire, however, you would try to recreate for your audience a sense of how the fire made you feel. तपाईले त्यो आगो देख्दा तपाईलाई कस्तो भयो भनेर फिलिङ आउने एक्सप्रेस गर्नुहुन्छ भने द्याट्स एन अब्जेक्टिभ हैन. तर आगोले त्यहाँ के गर्यो भनेर गर्नुहुन्छ भने द्याट्स द सब्जेक्टिभ. गट इट? क्लास?
Yes, ma'am.
बुझ्यो? नाउ there is that example चाहिँ हजुरहरुले आफै पढ्नुस् है. It's for your own use. Now at last of that page 133 you can see over there using objective and subjective language. How objective and subjective language, how do we use in descriptive essay? As the passage by यो प्यासेजलाई हामी यसरी नलियौं है. नाउ हामी कहाँबाट लियौं भने अब्जेक्टिभ डिस्क्रिप्सन फर्स्ट सेकेन्ड थर्ड लाइनमा हेर्नुस् त. अब्जेक्टिभ डिस्क्रिप्सन अन्डरलाइन इट. Objective descriptions rely on precise भनेको पर्टिकुलर जहाँ हो सत्य तथ्य. Objective description rely on precise factual language that presents a writer's observations without conveying his or her attitude towards the subject. Subject प्रति उनीहरुको मनमा उनीहरुको एटिट्युड उनीहरुको एक्सप्रेसन नभइकन रियालिटी जे हो त्यसैलाई हामीले फ्याक्चुअल ल्याङ्ग्वेजमा लेख्छौं र प्रेसाइज पर्टिकुलर कुरालाई मात्र डिस्क्राइब गर्छौं भने that is objective descriptions. Now subjective descriptions. Subjective descriptions, however, often use richer and more suggestive language. धेरै सजेसन दिने खालका ल्याङ्ग्वेजहरु हुन्छ, एक्सप्रेसिभ ल्याङ्ग्वेजहरु हुन्छ. However, often use richer and more suggestive language than objective descriptions do. They are more likely to rely on the connotations of word. एकअर्कालाई कनोटेट गर्ने डिनोटेट गर्ने काम गर्छ यसले. They are likely to rely on the connotations of words, their emotional associations, than on their denotations or more direct meaning. हैन, डिक्सनरी मिनिङ जस्तो भेट्टाउँछौं त्यस्तै मिनिङ पनि राख्छ. In addition, they may deliberately provoke the reader's imagination with striking phrases, vivid language, including figure of speech. हैन, figure of speech मा simile, metaphor, personification, allusion or person, and we are going to read in detail about this simile, metaphor हरू हामी यहाँ पढ्छौं है. What is simile, what is metaphor, you need to know it. So let's turn your page. Let's see over here simile. अब यी कुराहरुलाई एकदमै ध्यान है. Simile, what is simile? Simile भनेको उस्तै लाग्ने सुन्दा उस्तै लाग्ने कुराहरु भनेको that's a simile हैन. हामी यहीबाट पनि बुझ्न सक्छौं. A simile uses like or as. He is like a ball भनेको के होला? If I say a sentence, he is like a ball. What I am saying, class? What I am saying? If I say he is like a ball. Hello, class.
हजुर म्याम
Hello. If I say he is like a ball, what is its meaning?
looks like a ball.
If I say he is like a ball, looks like a ball, no matter, त्यो भन्यो भने के भनेको होला?
बल जस्तै देख्छ भने
के त बल जस्तो नि मान्छे देख्छ त कहिले? हजुर बल
बल
जस्तो मान्छे
जस्तो straight देख्छ
हजुर हजुर बल जस्तै डल्लो छ भने होला नि त मैले, हैन? के भने एकदमै धेरै मोटो छ र भने होला। बल जस्तै हुने भयो अब भन्न खोजेको के? एकदमै धेरै मोटो हुने भयो भन्न खोजेको हो। यसरी हामीले अलाइक, लाइक, एज युज गरेर कम्पेयर गर्ने काम गर्छौं भने देन द्याट टाइप अफ वर्ड्स आर सिमिली। ही इज लाइक अ बर्ड। ल अघि बल भने अहिले बर्ड भने। ही इज लाइक अ बर्ड। के भने होला मैले? Class. Oh, you are like a bird भने के भने होला?
बल
Bird, bird, B-I-R-D, bird.
चिउ चिउ कराइराख्ने
बर्डलाई चाहिँ हामीले एकदम क्लेभर छिट्टोको रूपमा लिन्छौँ कि फास्टको रूपमा लिन्छौँ। ओके सी हर स्माइल इज लाइक फ्लावर भने के भने होला?
ब्युटिफुल
भेरी ब्युटिफुल। दिज आर सिमिलिज। यो चाहिँ सिमिली हो। अन्डरस्टुड? So a simile uses like or as to compare two dissimilar things. दुईटा मिल्दै नमिल्ने कुरालाई कम्पेयर गरिदियौँ भने सिमिलर हुन्छ, सिमिली भयो। हाँसो र फूल कम्पेयर गर्न मिल्थ्यो त? मिल्दैन थियो नि। But we compared it. The comparisons occur frequently in everyday speech. For example, when someone claims to be happy as a calm, free as a bird, hungry as a bear. As a rule, however, you should avoid overused expressions like this in your writing. Effective writers constantly strive to create original similes. हामीले ओरिजिनल सिमिलीहरू पनि लेख्छौँ। Effective writers, they write it. In his essay, once more to the page, you should not read it. ल छोड्देऊ। Now metaphor. सिमिली भनेको दुईटा मिल्दै नमिल्ने कुरालाई एज अथवा लाइक राखेर हामीले कम्पेयर गरिदियौँ भने इट बिकम्स सिमिली। अन्डरस्टुड? नाउ मेटाफर। अब मेटाफर। अब मेटाफर भनेको के त? Metaphor compares two dissimilar things without using like or as. Like र as नराखिकन दुईटा मिल्दै नमिल्ने कुरालाई कम्पेयर गर्यौं भने it becomes metaphor. Instead of saying that something is like something else, the metaphor says it is something else. Mark Twain uses a metaphor when he says a broad expanse of the river was turned to blood. अब सुन्नुस् है ध्यान दिएर। सिमिली भनेको एज र लाइक मिल्दै नमिल्ने कुरालाई एज र लाइक राखेर कम्पेयर गर्यौं भने सिमिली भयो। मेटाफर भनेको मिल्दै नमिल्ने कुरालाई एज र लाइक नराखिकन कम्पेयर गर्यौं भने त्यो चाहिँ के भयो? मेटाफर भयो। द रिभर टर्न्ड इन्टु ब्लड भनेको के होला? class? The river turned into blood. के भन्न खोजेको होला?
Turned into blood.
Class everyone, मैले एक दुई जनालाई मात्र सोधिरहेको छैन. Everyone, please be participated. The river turned into blood भने के भने होला?
Blood को के भन्ने?
अर्को एक्जाम्पल भन्छु अनि भन्छु है त. My house is heaven भने के भने होला?
Beautiful eyes.
हजुर ब्युटिफुल, पीस, ह्याप्पी भन्न खोजेको हैन त? त्यहाँ हामीले लाइक र एज राख्नु पर्यो. You don't understand my sound?
मैं बुझिरहेको
बुझिरहेछ. त्यहाँ हामीले एज लाइक राख्नु पर्यो त. Do we need to put as like over there?
No ma'am. No ma'am.
Oh man. त्यसरी राख्दै नराखिकन पनि हामीले मिनिङ दिन सक्छौं भने, मिनिङफुल बनाउन सक्छौं भने then that's metaphor. के हो रे त्यो? मेटाफर. हजुर मेटाफर हो. अब सिमिली भनेको एज र लाइक राखेर कम्पेयर गर्यौं भने सिमिली हुने रहेछ. मेटाफर भनेको त्यस्तो वर्डहरु नराखिकन हामीले कम्पेयर गर्यौं भने, अघि मैले भनेको थिएँ द रिभर टर्न्ड इन्टु ब्लड भनेको के त? युद्धले नष्ट भयो भनेको, खोला रगत भयो भनेको के? युद्धले गर्दा मान्छे धेरै मरे भनेको हो कि हैन? Getting?
Yes ma'am.
Class, are you getting? Now, अब त्यस्तै we can say he is crow. He is crow. He is like crow भन्यो भने हामीले सिमिली युज गर्यौं हैन त? काग जस्तै छ भनेको नराम्रो छ भनेको हो कि हैन? He is crow भन्यो भने very very ugly, नराम्रो मान्छे हो भन्न खोजेको. नराम्रो छ, देख्दा राम्रो छैन भन्न खोजेको. He is like crow भनेको सिमिली भयो. He is crow भन्यो भने मेटाफर भयो. Understood?
Yes ma'am.
Class, do you understand?
Yes ma'am. Yes ma'am.
Personification. अब पर्सोनिफिकेसन भनेको त्यहाँ पर्सन अगाडि आउने बित्तिकै हामीले त्यसलाई लाइफ दियौं भनेर सम्झनुस्. त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले मान्छेको क्यारेक्टरमा ल्याइदियौं, त्यसलाई जीवन दियौं. कुनै पनि त्यस्तो सामान, त्यस्तो वस्तु, त्यस्तो अब्जेक्टहरुलाई हामीले लाइफ दिन्छौं, मिन्स लाइफ बनाइदिन्छौं के? अलाइभ बनाइदिन्छौं, जिउँदो बनाइदिन्छौं एक्जाम्पलमा भने that is what personification is. Personification speaks of concept or object as if they had life or human characteristic. मानव व्यवहार र जीवन भए जस्तो बनाइदिन्छ. If you say that the wind whispered, हावाले काने खुसी गर्छ आएर? Never. Never. Now wind is non-living. हो? त्यसलाई हामीले मान्छेको बिहेभ थपिदिएर त्यसलाई चाहिँ रियल बनाइदियौं. Wind whispered. Or that an engine died. Engine मर्छ? Do it has life? It haven't. No. It hasn't life. तर मर्यो भन्नुको अर्थ के? बिग्रियो, सकियो भनेको. So we are making personified over here. Okay. The soil grew. माटो बढ्छ? बढ्छ? बढ्दैन. बढ्दैन. त्यसलाई हामीले पर्सनिफाइड गर्यौं भनेको उत्पादन बढ्यो भन्न खोजेको हो. ओके? अन्डरस्टुड? पर्सनिफिकेसन भनेको हामीले नन लिभिङ थिंग्सलाई लिभिङ थिङ्सको जस्तो क्यारेक्टर थपेर कम्पेयर गर्यौं भने द्याट इज पर्सोनिफिकेसन. नाउ illusion. Do you know what illusion is? Illusion भनेको के त? Allusion is a reference to a person. Reference help हो to a person, place, event or quotation that the writer assumes the readers will recognize. रिडरले सजिलै बुझ्न सक्छन् भनेर राइटरले थप्ने रेफरेन्सहरू के हेल्पहरू हो. You can see here example in letter from Birmingham jail, page 566. For example, Martin Luther King Jr. enriches his argument by alluding to biblical pages and proverbs that he expects his audience of clearly to be familiar with. त्यो पेज 566 भनेर जुन थपियो नि हो त्यो चाहिँ एलुजन हो, हेल्प हो नि त. ब्रिङ्गिङहाम जेल 566 भनेको हो. त्यहाँ गएर पल्टाएर हेर्दा तिमीले अझ धेरै कुराहरू भेट्टाउँछौ, बुझ्न सक्छौ भनेर भनेको. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you propose an audience determine whether you should use objective or subjective description. हाम्रो purpose र audience ले के भन्छ भने we need to use objective or subjective. दुवै हुन सक्छ. An assignment that specifically asks for reactions calls for a subjective description. Legal, medical, technical, business, and scientific writing assignments, however, usually require objective descriptions because their primary purpose is to give the audience factual information. सही सत्य तथ्य information दिनु नै सबभन्दा पहिलो आवश्यकता हो. Even in these areas, though, figures of speech are often used to describe an unfamiliar object or concept. For example, in their pioneering article of the structure of DNA, this you should not read. Now, what we need to add in our writing is either we can make it subjective, objective, we can make it personification, metaphor, allusions, or जे थपेर भए पनि we need to make our writing very, very effective. And these things we need to understand in our essays too that we will read. Now, selecting detail. Detail कसरी select गर्ने त? Sometimes in experience writing, writers pack their descriptions with general words such as nice, great, terrific, or awful, substituting their own reactions to an object for the qualities of the object itself to produce an effective description. However, you must do more than just say something is wonderful. You must use details that evoke this response in your readers. अब यो एक्जाम्पलहरू चाहिँ तपाईहरुले आफै पढ्नुस्. हामीले लेख्दाखेरि डिस्क्रिप्टिभ राइटिङ्सहरू लेख्दाखेरि we can use certain symbolic words. यहाँ दिइरहेको छ नाइस, ग्रेट, टेरिफिक or awful हैन, यस्ता वर्डहरू हामीले युज गर्न सक्छौं to make it more particular. Okay, so let's see in page number 135. I haven't clicked it. 135. Planning a descriptive essay. माथि तपाईहरुले आफै पढ्नुस्, त्यहाँ एक्जाम्पलहरु दिइराको छ है. So how to plan a descriptive essay? Page 135. And we are reading descriptive essay too. So we are reading here how to plan descriptive essay. Descriptive essay लेख्नु भन्दा अगाडि हामीले कस्तो प्लान गर्नुपर्छ, के गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा. Okay. Let's see here. How to plan descriptive essay. Selecting details. Planning descriptive essay. What happened? I click next photo. Wait, okay. Developing the thesis statement in descriptive essay. I did not get it here. Okay. Objective and subjective language. Okay, let's see here. Developing a thesis statement. कसरी thesis statement बनाउने त in descriptive writings. Writers of descriptive essay often use an implied thesis when they describe a person, place, or things. This technique allows them to convey an essay's main idea through the selection and arrangements of details. When they use description, underline it. Description writing use गर्दा के हुनु पर्यो? We need to support a particular point. कुनै particular कुरालाई support गर्ने. Many writers prefer to use an explicitly stated thesis. This strategy lets readers see immediately what point the writer is making. हैन हामीले जे हो पर्टिकुलर कुरा त्यसलाई चाहिँ बढी भन्दा बढी फोकस गर्नु पर्यो while writing descriptive essay. Next is whether you state or imply your thesis, the detail of your descriptive essay must work together to create a single dominant impression. एउटा कुराले एउटैलाई मात्र एक्सप्लेन गरोस् त्यसमा धेरै डबल मिनिङ लाग्नेहरू नराख्नुहोस्. The mood or quality emphasized in the piece of writing. In many cases, your thesis may be just a statement of the dominant impression something. कति कुराहरुमा चाहिँ हामीले लेखेको thesis statementहरु चाहिँ just implied कुराहरु मात्र पनि हुन सक्छन्. Means it can be used over there, but your thesis may go further and make a point about the dominant impressions. के हो मुख्य कुरा तपाईले डिस्क्राइब गर्न खोजेको त्यो चाहिँ thesis statementमा हुनै पर्यो. Then only it will be possible. Organizing detail लाई हामीले लेख्न खोजेको सबै कुरालाई कसरी अर्गनाइज गर्ने त? Here is given tips for us. When you plan a descriptive essay, you usually begin by writing down descriptive detail in no particular order. Descriptive detail describe गर्नुहोस्. You then arrange these details in a way that supports your thesis and communicates your dominant impressions. Arrange गर्नुहोस् chronological order मा एकपछि अर्को. हामीले अहिले चाहिँ I see a flower भनेको थियो अनि त्यसपछि एकैचोटी I started eating meal भनेर लेख्नु भन्यो भने that will not be chronological. गार्डनमा छँदा फ्लावर देखे भन्नेले घर आइपुगे भन्नु पर्यो नि before having meal. हो chronological order मा हुनु पर्यो. As you consider how to arrange your details, keep in mind that you have a number of options. हामीसँग अप्सन धेरै छ त्यसलाई मैले मिलाउन जान्नु पर्छ भनेर हामीले बुझ्नु पर्यो. Example छ यहाँ यो exampleलाई राम्रोसँग पढ्नुहोस्. Now you also need to have idea of using transitions. कहाँ गएर रोक्ने त हैन? Be sure to include all the transitional words and phrases readers need to follow your description. हाम्रा transitional wordहरु छन् नि behind, below, beyond, next to यस्ता खालका wordहरु. You need to use this type of words and it adds taste in our writing. So without them, readers will have difficulty understanding the relationship between one detail and another. Throughout your description, especially in the topic sentence of your body paragraph, use words or phrases indicating the spatial arrangements of detail. In descriptive essays, the transitions commonly used include above, adjacent to, at the bottom, at the top. हैन यस्तो वर्डहरु हामी युज गर्न सक्छौं and these words are the transitional words. So we need to be careful while writing descriptive essay by using these all. र हामी भोलि structuring descriptive essay पढेर we will start द राइस हैन हामी एडिटिङलाई हेर्छौं अनि हामी राइसलाई चाहिँ वी विल गो अन र तपाईहरुले यहाँ दिएको एक्जाम्पलहरु चाहिँ इट्स फर यु प्लिज रिड इट ल तपाईहरुले आफै पढ्ने आज हामीले के पढ्यौं भने डिस्क्रिप्टिभ एसेमा सब्जेक्टिभ डिस्क्रिप्सन के हो व्हाट इज सब्जेक्टिभ डिस्क्रिप्सन व्हाट इज अब्जेक्टिभ डिस्क्रिप्सन व्हाट इज सिमिली मेटाफर पर्सोनिफिकेसन एल्युसन कसरी डिटेललाई सेलेक्ट गर्ने अनि कसरी प्लानिङ डिस्क्रिप्टिभ एसे कसरी प्लान गर्ने अर्गनाइजिङ डिटेल युजिङ ट्रान्जिशन्स गर्यो भने हामीले राम्रोसँग प्लान गर्न सक्ने रहेछौं भनेर पढ्यौं एन्ड रिमेनिङ वी विल रिड टुमरो एन्ड स्टार्ट द राइस हाम्रो एसे द राइस सुरु गर्छौं भोलि अन्डरस्टुड
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so your work is to read it, okay? Rice, यसै त म
Yes.
तपाईहरुलाई राम्रैसँग हैन I will continue it. तर यो भन्दा अगाडिको जुन हामीले यो डिस्क्रिप्टिभ राइटिङमा पढेको एक्जाम्पलहरु यहाँ जुन मैले स्किप गरेँ तर तपाईहरुले त्यसलाई ध्यान दिएर पढ्नुहोस् and understand it nicely how to use and where to use. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you class. Goodbye everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye.